What is up, guys? Basic Battles here today, and I have another football video for you. The Los Angeles Chargers just lost to the New England Patriots 16-3 in the wild card round. They are eliminated in the first round for the second year in a row, and they have fired second-year coordinator Greg Roman from the offensive coordinator position. And I believe this was the right move because Greg Roman has nearly ruined Justin Herbert. Now, I'm a Patriots fan. I watched all the playoff games very closely, but especially this one because it was my team, and I couldn't help but notice Justin Herbert was running for his life. He was running for his life inside the pocket, outside the pocket. He was also running too much. I think Greg Roman still thinks he has Lamar Jackson or Colin Kaepernick or Tyrod Taylor back there, because Justin Herbert, 6'4", big-armed, pocket passer, was running a lot. Now, I'm not saying Justin Herbert cannot move his legs. He can run when he needs to. But if your quarterback who gets pressured 40 out of 53 attempts, I don't know what it was, something insane. It was like 50 pressures or 40 pressures or something crazy like that. And it was insane pressure percentage. And if your QB that gets pressured and hit and sacked the most in the NFL, I know that stat's correct, without his two Pro Bowl left tackles out for the year, if he is running so much and, forcing so much contact, I think there's a serious problem. I look at the Chargers receivers and I'm like, Allen and Ladd and even Quentin Johnson, these guys shouldn't be too hard to scheme on quick, 5-yard routes. And I hardly saw any of that at all. I think I saw like one drive where they really tried to dink and dunk it down the field. But other than that, it was just unsuccessful run plays to the outside, which is, of course, because that's where they're weakest on the O-line. And, Justin Herbert just standing too long in the pocket, making bad reads. Even when he had time, he was escaping early. He was, throwing. He had some bad throws in there too. It wasn't all on play calling, but he has no help out there. I feel like last year when they did have their tackles healthy for the most part, Greg Roman's bad play calling was able to be, salvaged because guys like Ladd McConkey and who else did they have last season? I think it was, but Ladd McConkey obviously had his breakout season last year and in the playoffs because, he had a lot of time, to get open. It's going to be really hard to guard him for way too long. I feel like the Chargers, they have all the pieces. They have a top 3 defense, in my opinion. They get a lot of pressure. Their secondary is solid. It's anchored by Derwin James in the secondary as a safety and a great run defender. They have great edge rushers, But I just think Greg Roman he poisoned Justin Herbert's mind. I feel like a lot of that performance had to do with him. And I think it was a great decision to fire him. I don't know who Jim Harbaugh will go out and get. I really hope, he just stays away from any Harbaugh family people. Although I do feel like Todd Monken would do a good job with Justin Herbert. I feel like he is solid. I feel like he got unfairly criticized in the, in the Ravens when he's gone with John Harbaugh. He's not perfect, but I think he would be better than Greg Roman. I just think Greg Roman's too in his ways. Like I said, he tries to do what works, and it's just his style of play is never ever going to work with Justin Herbert, especially with the personnel they had, and that's a reason too. They were out probably 2 of their top 5 players on offense. It sucks when your O-line is as bad as it is, but he didn't play to their strengths at all. And also sucked that Omarion was out. So honestly, it's a play calling thing. It's an injury thing. It's a Herbert regression thing, as sad as that is to see. I think he is going to be fine. I say might have ruined because, it's Justin Herbert. I think he still has all the talent to rebound. But I don't know. We'll see. I do think with their tackles back, if they're fully healthy next season and Omarion back for the full year, I do think they should make the playoffs again next year. But their next OC hire and, their return on defense and their injury luck, that's what's really going to decide the Chargers' future. We'll see. Thank you guys. Short video. If you guys like the football content, I like making it. Hopefully the Chargers find a good OC. I mean, I've heard Mike McDaniel might be around for them. You don't know. I doubt it, though. I mean, I think he's probably going to get a head coaching job. There's like 9 openings now. It's crazy the market there is. I think he will get scooped up by somebody like the Titans or maybe the Raiders with Mendoza. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.